Rugby World Cup 2021 final, folks. It was crazy. No matter what I read from my notes, which are pretty awful and written really badly, I'm not going to be able to do this game justice. This game was absolutely bonkers. I am a New Zealander, so I probably appreciate this game more than most because we managed to win it at the death. But yeah, what can I say? It was crazy. I'll talk briefly to some of the main events. Me and Tony from Distracted Sports did a live stream yesterday. It gets very loud at the end, so be cautious if you do go to look it up. But we watched the game together. That kind of goes through most of the key moments and the thinking of what was going on. But we will go through some of the kind of key stuff and some of the stats. And yeah, you guys can let us know your thoughts. The crowd was phenomenal. Surely this World Cup has blitzed the records of attendances from the previous World Cups. Puts the pressure on the next World Cup in 4 years' time, or 3 years' time, for the women's rugby to break the attendance records of this World Cup. I think they will, because the game is kind of growing, like in that, I don't know, like it's getting more media attention, it's getting more just eyes on the game, right? So, yeah, I can't see the next World Cup not being an even bigger event than this one, but this one was certainly a bigger one than the last one. And, man, this game is only going to add to that. I mean, the crowd was phenomenal. Like I said, 40+ thousand people. England, though, bang, early tries, Kildun and Cocaine. One from a maul, one from some backs. Black Ferns kind of looking all at sea at the breakdown. Not looking good. But Lydia Thompson's covering tackle on Portia Woodman. Red card, but they both go because Portia's knocked out, which is not what you want in the World Cup final, but neither for Thompson to get a red card. It's pretty brutal. Certainly going to be a big talking point, but it is what it is. It's a card, and she's gone for the duration. Black Ferns hit back with Ponsonby with a maul try. Mucka restart. England get one back. Marley Packer. England Mucka restart. All Blacks. Black Ferns get one back. It's real tit for tat stuff. Renee Holmes has a brutal one called back that was for an intercept, but the Black Ferns have been offside. So England get another maul try before half time, but the Black Ferns get another one before half time. So it is absolutely tit for tat, crazy stuff. By half time, you're already at 19 points to 26. So very high scoring first half. Very high scoring. And the Black Ferns just don't have an answer to the maul of the Red Roses. I feel like they're kicking it as little as they can, the Black Ferns. They basically want to run everything out because they don't want to give England any line-outs because they're worried about conceding penalties, they're worried about mauls because they are so hard to stop. By halftime, the position is like 60-40 to the Black Ferns, but the territory is reversed. The Black Ferns have had all the running, 354 metres to 134, but it makes sense because, like I said, they don't want to give the Red Roses any ball. They were quite happy to back themselves in their own half. Sometimes that paid off, and sometimes it certainly did not. Maybe the try of the game is the Flula one on 41 minutes. I think she skins Emily Scarrett, gets it to Renee Holmes. Renee Holmes gets it back to Flula. That's a peach of a try, offloading, and just great rugby. That one was phenomenal. So the Black Ferns were close to going in front. Cox Edge kicking 50-22. They did go in front with the Murray try. That's like a loose head prop on a number 9. There's only going to be one winner. So the Black Ferns go in front. You're kind of starting to believe. But remember I mentioned kind of risk reward stuff. Black Ferns run out of there on 22. Knocking it on. Leads to a scrum. Leads to a penalty. Leads to a maul. Leads to a try. England back in front. And then New Zealand with a yellow card for a kind of similar one as the Thompson one on Woodman. But I am a Kiwi, so I'm a little bit biased, but I did think it was like marginally less. I stand to be corrected on that one, but I don't know if there'll be a sighting from it, but I did think it was kind of marginally lower. So there you go. That's 14 on 14 for a wee bit. But I mean, the Flula offload for the second Letty Inga try is just, I mean, that's World Cup worthy. That try was phenomenal. The Black Ferns backs are just something else. That was the final score. So with 10 minutes to go, it's 34-31. Black Ferns have been missing conversions like crazy, to be fair. Renee Holmes kicked a couple initially, but missed the rest. Scarrett had a better day with the boot, even though she missed a few as well. And yeah, it was just a matter of can the Black Ferns hold on, man. At 1 minute, they won a penalty. They started to tap and go. I wanted them to just kind of slow the game down, but they were going for it. And I was quite sure by the time England had penalty, maul, and then advantage that they were going to win the game. But then they ended up going back for the penalty, set that final line out, and the Black Ferns compete in the air and managed to disrupt it just enough to keep the English from being able to set a maul. Crazy. Like, I don't think if the Black Ferns had just set and if they stayed on the ground, because they've been doing that all game, I don't think they would have had a shot. They had to compete in the air, and they got it done. Yeah, crazy. Scenes, absolute scenes at Eden Park. Possession 55-45 to the Ferns. Territory 52-48 to the Roses. Run meter 651 to 273 to the Ferns. It makes absolute sense. They were running everything all day. Defenders beaten 36-13 to the Ferns. Offloads 12-1 to the Ferns. Mauls 11-5 to the Roses. Kind of the stats match with what your eyeballs saw. Clean breaks 4-2 to the Ferns. Goal kicking was like 60% for the English and like 28 or something for the Ferns. So a few missed kicks. Tackling percentage, the Ferns were at 87%, which is solid enough. 86 tackles. The Red Roses at 121 at 77%. Remember, they had to play it down for most of the game, so always makes things a bit harder. But yeah, they would have liked to have those numbers a bit higher. Abby Dow still had 47 metres, 3 defenders beaten, 2 clean breaks, couldn't get on the board. Renee Holmes, couple of try assists, despite not the best day with the boot. Flula, man, 65 metres, 2 clean breaks, 4 defenders beaten, a try assists. Certainly didn't do it justice. But that was the Women's World Cup final. It was phenomenal. Like I said, one of the best games, if not the best game I've seen all year. Absolutely phenomenal stuff. I may have not said that if we had lost, but I mean, even if we'd lost, I like to think I would be able to say, bro, that was a crazy game. Rugby, like 2 totally different styles, just going head to head. Which one gets it done? In this case, it's the Ferns. On another day, it certainly could have been the Roses. That red card may be a difference maker, but that's one of those talking points that you can talk to until the cows come home. Great tournament. You guys let us know your thoughts, and I'll talk to you again soon. See ya.